and Jammie's magic in the air.
Hey guys, Megan Barker here from the Jammie Cam. If you don't know what Jammin' and Jammies is, you're missing out. It is a live show that happens here in Nashville every week featuring hit songwriters and rising artists in pajamas. It's a real hoot. Right now we're doing everything via live stream on our Instagram on Sunday night, so make sure you come check that out. And while we're all sitting at home a little more in our pajamas, we're sitting down with some of our favorite songwriters and picking their brains. Today we are lucky enough to have Mr. Josh Mirenda. Josh is Nashville native, artist, and platinum award-winning songwriter. He won ASCAP Song of the Year for Somewhere on a Beach by Dierks Bentley. You've probably heard it. He's also had multiple hits by Jason Aldean. His EP, I Got You, has gotten over 20 million streams, you guys. So make sure that you go check that out on Spotify, Apple Music, and let's welcome him. Josh, how you doing?
What's up? I'm good. I sleep in t-shirts, so I'm technically, I'm always in Jammie's, but you know.
Yeah, no, I got you. The onesies are a little hot right now, so we're good.
Yeah, that's hot.
Do you want to start by just telling us a little bit about you and how you got into music in general?
Yeah, for sure. So I was born and raised in Middle Tennessee, Hendersonville to be specific. It's like 20 minutes north of Nashville, which and I always grew up like listening to music and doing music in high school and stuff, and went to Belmont University in Nashville. So I took like a really long 30-minute drive south on I-65 for my big college move. And I actually did not do music there. I was pre-med, pre-law for the most part. And had a lot of friends that did music. And I've always loved music. I grew up around it, obviously being from Nashville and everything. So I still did music, just not at Belmont for like my major. And started playing some stuff around town and got discovered, and I don't really know. I mean, it was all like a whirlwind, to be honest with you. So,
well, okay, start from the beginning. So you weren't studying music, and you're from Nashville. Is music in your blood?
Yeah. So my aunt, actually, my family, like my grandparents, my mom, and my aunt all moved from Wisconsin. Like 2 months before I was born, because my aunt wanted to be a country singer, and so she was doing that whole thing like for like the years that like you absorb a lot like as a child and stuff, like 5 years old, 4 years old, all that stuff. 3, like my aunt was trying to be a country singer, and so like I was drugged to more writers' nights and writers' rounds like than anybody else at that age. And so like, I just grew up around all of it. And so I don't know, like I guess like they moved down here to do it, and she ended up not like doing it, but she gave it everything she had, and I just kind of grew up around it. And I feel like that's a huge part of why I'm here, and like why I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up around music too, and I really don't think you can, if that's all you know, it's all you're going to do, I think. You said you were discovered. Can you take us into that? How did that happen?
Yeah. So there's kind of like two sides. Like the main side is a guy named Dan Keene, who is a publishing professor at Belmont University. Heard me play. There's like, Belmont does like these country music showcases and like these like battle of the bands things, like where you have to audition to like get in and whatnot. And at the time I was singing all my buddies' songs because like I didn't really write, but I go like I've always wanted to be an artist, but can I, sing your songs? Because I don't really write anything. And they were cool enough to do it. And so I played this all, both of these instances happened probably within like 2 weeks of each other. So first one, I was playing on the lawn at Belmont, which is now like a dorm probably, or like the new cafeteria, which is dope, by the way. And I was playing and got off stage for this battle of the bands thing, and this guy walks up to me and he was like, hey, you do music? I was like, yeah, sure. And he was like, what's your major? And I was like, I'm pre-med, pre-law. And he was like, okay. He was like, well, do you want to do music professionally? And I was like, no, I want to make money. And so he was like, well, here's my card. He's like, shoot me an email. And I was like, all right, cool. So I shot him an email, and I had no idea at the time, and this was my junior year of college, like end of junior year, that you could even like people got paid to write songs or anything like that. I had no idea. And keep in mind, I also didn't write any of the songs I was singing. So he's a publishing professor. He's talking to me about all this, and I was like, he's like, you know, y'all sound really good, and I was like, thank you so much. And he was like, so, you know, blah, 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 songwriting. I was like, yeah, I didn't write any of this. Actually, I take that back. I wrote one of them. And so throughout that, probably the next week, like I called my buddies that we started writing together, and we wrote a couple more, and like I played a writer's round for free barbecue and downtown, because I was in college, and they're like, hey, you know, we'll give you free barbecue. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come play some songs.
Hell yeah.
And at that instance, there's a mega songwriter. His name's Ashley Gorley, and his assistant happened to be at that round. And at the time, like, keep in mind, like, I have no idea like anything songwriting at all. Like, I am a science dude. Like, that's what I did, and I just like, I've always done music, but like my mind at that time was like very science. It's not now, but at that time it was very science. And he comes up, he's like, hey, he was like, I loved your songs. He was like, I work for Ashley Gorley. He's like, would you like, you know, looking at signing people, do you want a meeting? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to meet her, because I just assumed that Ashley was a girl. And turns out it's not. But yeah, throughout that whole process, I mean, Dan Keene would give me honest opinions on music, and he kind of like shopped me around while I was in college to like all these publishers. Like, we went to Sony, Universal, Warner. I mean, like, everybody. He took me to all these people, and so throughout that, I've kind of like got discovered that way. And so I met him, and then Ashley it was like super cool, because I learned so much of songwriting at the very early stages from my buddies, who also like Jordan Reynolds and I started writing songs together, which here like Tequila and every shade song, or I feel like. So it was really cool to like, we learned together. But Ashley would come over to my condo when I was in college, and, you know, like mentor me. Like, I mean, he'd sit down and be like, you know, what did you write today? What did you write this week? And I mean, at the end of every week, Ashley would come to my condo, say, play me what you wrote this week. And I would play him what I wrote. Like, and at that time I was like, this dude's a big deal. Like, I better have some songs I wrote. And he would listen down to every song I wrote, and he'd be like, that was cool. That wasn't, do this. Don't do that. Hey, that melody thing, like, you should have did this. So like, take another look at that. And so when I was like first learning how to write songs, obviously like the people I was writing with, like Jordan Reynolds, Russell Dickerson, like, we're all buddies and stuff. We all are successful now. But I mean, like, I had a guy that like Ashley Gorley come when I was just learning how to write a song and be like, this is how you do it. And obviously like Ashley's had over 50 number ones or something crazy now. So
yeah, that's crazy.
That's a long roundabout way of how I got discovered. And then a crazy story of how it all kind of like came to fruition was, at the time, my wife now was my girlfriend then. And when we met, I was pre-med, pre-loss. Like, my goal was to do oral maxillofacial surgeries, like wisdom teeth, TMJ surgery, like dental implants. And I was a surgical assistant all through college doing that. So she thought, you know, hopefully we get married. This dude's going to be a surgeon. His backup is lawyer. Like, it's not going to suck. And she actually encouraged me to follow this dream of songwriting, because I was getting this attention from everybody. And Michael Martin, who's a like president of Nashville ASCAP, was also a guy on my side. And you know, she was like, you know, just follow your dream. Like, why not? Just give it a chance. So I was like, all right, I'll make a deal to you and my parents, who at the time was like, don't quit your day job. Like, you're almost done. Just finish it out. You know, you're already in this practice, and they're going to help you through dental and residency and everything. I was like, all right. So I said, give me 6 months after graduation. 6 months from the day I walk, take a picture. Here's my diploma. We did it. I said, give me 6 months to treat songwriting like it's my job. And if I don't have a publishing deal, I will go take the admissions test to dental school, and we'll go through that and residency and everything else. And then it's like, all right, deal. Sounds great. 6 months to the day comes around, and we are having lunch at Burger Republic in the Gulch. I have no deal. they take me. It was my mom, my grandmother, and my girlfriend, who is now my wife. And my mom was like, hey, you know, we know you've been working really hard, but it's 6 months today. And I'm like, I know, I understand. You know, I'll call the people I need to call. We'll get it handled. Excuse me. And order lunch. Lunch doesn't even show up, and my phone rings, and it's Brett James. Answer it, because I've been talking to Brett James for a while, like throughout the whole process. And he's like, hey, who's your lawyer? Like, we're offering, like, we're going to submit a deal. Like, we want to know who your lawyer is. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I just got a publishing deal with Brett James and Warner Chappell. This is incredible. I mean, like, within a couple hours, like, I started getting deal offers from like Brett. Ashley threw a deal in, all this. I didn't tell any, like, I've told nobody other than my wife and like mom and dad that like I'm giving myself 6 months, and 6 months to the day all that happened. So I was like, this is just a God thing. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So
That's
crazy.
the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So
Okay. I mean, I don't know how much detail you want to go into, but if you had multiple deals on the table, like, how did you decide which way to go?
That's a really great question, because all the deals that were on the table were with people that haven't invested in me. I mean, Ashley was very invested. Brett at the time was very invested and still is. Both of them are actually. And I mean, it was just, it came down at that time, it was like, okay, what's the better deal look like business wise? Because I was broke, like
Right.
broke,
Right.
like no money. So like
Yeah.
I wasn't paying for lunch that day. Like mom was paying for lunch that day. And it just came down to like a money thing, which we're all still friends and everything, but it's like, I was like, okay, how can I afford to pay my bills the way I'm living right now? Maybe a little bit more, and go from there. And I chose to go with Brett James and Warner Chappell, and had a lot of success with them, and it was awesome.
Wow, that's the craziest story I've ever heard, hands down. It sounds like it was just kind of meant to be, like the universe, the stars aligned for you, which is really, really cool. Not that you didn't work at it and earn it. You know, I think you have to be ready when opportunity strikes, and it sounds like you were. Can you take us into your songwriting process?
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of, I mean, everybody like has a different process and a different way of doing it. Like the way that I feel really good about it is, it has to be a good idea, first of all. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not a good idea, I don't want to waste hours of my day writing a good song when we could write a great song. So it all starts with ideas. I write with just me acoustic. I've done 100%ers. I've done two-way 50/50s with just acoustic. I prefer to have like somebody doing a track, or somebody sends a track. With this COVID situation that we've had, it's been very interesting. I've done a lot of Zoom writes.
Yeah.
Totally, it's like no vibe at all. So that's been interesting. I've had to adapt with that. So now it's kind of like, I don't know, like I've enjoyed having, I reached out as soon as all this started. I reached out to all of like my favorite people that do tracks. It's like, hey, send me some tracks. I'll write to it. I've adapted. I went and got an Apollo interface, an SM7, Logic. I figured out how to comp my vocal and record. And I was like, just send me tracks. Let me write some songs, and I'll shoot it back, and you have to mix it, because I'm not getting in that. So my preferred method is, first has to be a killer idea. Second is the vibe, which is for me like the track. And then I'm a melody guy in the room. I'm decent at lyrics. I feel like that I could be stronger at lyrics. But I feel like melody that's what I bring to the table the most. And I would honestly credit Ashley a lot for that, because Ashley's melodies are next level dumb good. And that dude sat in my living room when I was in college and was like, do this, don't do that. So that's kind of like my method, which is, and it changes like day to day. You know, it depends on the artist, what we're writing for, what's the end goal of the day. But I write with a purpose. I'll say that. Like, I don't just write to write at this point. It's like I'm writing with an end goal in mind. It's like, see something on the calendar. It's like, okay, who can we get this song to? Let's write a song for that group of people, not just like, unless it's a crazy idea, like Somewhere on a Beach, for example. Like that wasn't, we weren't like, let's write a Dirk Bentley song. That just happened.
Right.
So
Well, that's a perfect segue. So I read somewhere that was your first cut as a songwriter.
yeah, first cut ever, 2-week #1 ASCAP song of the year. It was crazy.
Wow. Okay. I really want you to take us into when you first heard that Dirks was going to record it, that it was going to be a single. When you first heard it was #1, can you just kind of take us into those life-changing moments?
For sure. So when I heard it was going to get cut, I was, and I still am extremely close with like Jaron Boyer, Michael Tyler, and all the guys in there that were part of that song. But Jaron and MT and I were writing the day that Dirks was recording, and I've never had a cut at this time. I feel like MT might have had a cut. Jaron had #1s at that point. I think he had 2, but I've never had anything. And Kim Wiggins worked at Pure at the time, and she was like their main plugger. And Arthur was, the point person for the Dirks thing. So we were writing that day, and Kim's like, "You guys excited?" She's like, "Somewhere on the Beach supposed to get cut today." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm very excited. Please keep me updated on it." She's like, "All right, sounds good." And I'll never forget, it was that we finished the song, and I think she did this on purpose because she wanted us to finish the song, because she knew if she came in and was like, "He recorded it," like I was gonna go to Winners or Losers,
Right.
and celebrate immediately. Like I ain't finished it anything. And so we finished, and we all go to Kim's office, which is down the hall from Jaron's office at their old building that they were at. And I was like, "I gotta go to the bathroom real quick." And she was like, "I got news on the song." She didn't look excited, and I was like, "I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back." So Jaron and MT are in there. I come out of the bathroom, and she's like, "Guys, I'm so sorry." She was like, they tried to record it, and it just something didn't click, and they ended up not recording it. And I was just like, I felt like the life just got sucked out of me. And I was like, you know what? I was like, "It's all good." I was like, "That song will find a home." And she was like, "I'm just kidding. They recorded it." And I was like, now I don't know if they actually, I was like, "Did they actually record it or not?" And she was like, "Yeah, they did." And Jaron and MT were laughing. I was like, "It's not funny. Like, why would you do that?" So that's when I found out I got cut, and I was very excited. Obviously, I called, that was actually my wife, now was my fiance then. So I called her. She was very excited. And that was great. When I found out I went #1, we were living together. My wife, who's then my fiance, and I were living together. And I will never forget, I watched it go up the chart like the whole time. Like I was using friends, like medium-based logins, like several times a day. Like I was getting locked out of people's, like people were getting locked out of accounts because I was just like, "Yo, can I check the chart real quick?" I'll never forget, like Brett told me, he was like, "Dude," he's like, "quit looking at the charts." He's like, he's like, "If it'll happen, it'll happen. Trust me, I've had a lot of them." And I was like, "I know." I was like, "I'm so excited." He's like, "Please don't think if it doesn't go #1, it wasn't a great song." He's like, "It was a great song." I said, "Thank you so much. I get it." Immediately went and checked the charts. And so it was an evening. It was a Sunday evening when I found out it went #1. When it was a single, I was washing my truck. Nate Lowry, who's my song plugger, called me. He's like, "You got the single." And I was washing my truck, which was a piece of crap at the time. Like barely ran. I don't even know I was washing it. I didn't know it was start the next time I turned the key. But found out it was #1. We were on our way to meet her parents at Logan's Roadhouse. Again, they were going to pay because we were broke as crap. Had no success at all. And I looked and I saw it was #1, and I had my computer on the island, and she was in the kitchen, and I just literally, I didn't know what to do. I just ran out of the house. Like full on sprint, like ran out of the kitchen, ran out of the front door, and just took off running like down the street. Kayla came outside. She's like, she's in the driver. She's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "What's wrong? We got to go." And I was like, "We're #1. Like we did it." And that was super cool. And for some reason, like she's like, "Well, where do you want to go?" She's like, "We don't even have to go to Logan's. Like, where do you want to go to celebrate?" And I want a Jersey Mike's. So we went to Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's? I mean, I love Jersey Mike's, but of all the places, I would have got like seafood or something fancy. That's hilarious.
I don't know. I was craving Jersey Mike's. And so we celebrated my first cut and first #1 at Jersey Mike's in Donaldson. And it was the most delicious.
I really hope that you like tagged them and you told them that, because they would love that.
I didn't, but I need to. I'd be like, hey, I had my first number one ever, and I immediately went to Jersey Mike's.
Okay, we'll tag them when we post this. We'll tag them in it.
Yeah, please
If you
do.
get free Jersey Mike's for life.
What's up, Jersey Mike's? Shout out.
Okay, that's amazing. Holy crap. I mean, what? I have so many questions. What's the first thing you bought? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah. She's actually, what is the first thing I bought? What did we buy? I don't
Probably
know.
a new truck.
I did.
think we got our
The
house.
truck, actually, I think we bought a
No,
house.
the truck came after the house because I was pregnant.
We got the house. We got a house.
Yeah,
We bought a house.
We bought a house.
We bought a house. Obviously, it wasn't paid for.
No.
Let me clarify that for everybody watching. We didn't pay cash for a house, but like we moved
Yeah.
Into
a nicer house, nicer.
like a new house.
Yeah, new house. Where we weren't worried about getting robbed or broken into, which is a common thing in our neighborhood that we were in.
Oh.
But yeah, the truck came. Actually, ironically, like Jason Aldean's a good buddy of mine, and he actually thought my truck was hilarious because it broke down all the time. Like I would miss rights. Like they actually sent them a picture. I was at a Titans game at a tailgate, and I went to open my tailgate, and the whole thing came off my truck. And I just had a picture of me like with the tailgate like standing upright and like no tailgate, and I was like,
It was my dad's old truck.
yeah, our dad's old work truck. I'm trying to open
Oh,
it. So
that's a
he
good
picked me up
story.
with Rocky Ridge, and I got a pretty dope truck from them. But yeah, we first check came in. The first big purchase was a house. First original purchase was a Jersey Mike's sub. So
Perfect celebration.
Yeah.
Do you feel like playing something for us?
yeah, for sure. I feel like I just played somewhere on the beach. We talked about it. And I'm at the beach condo, which that's where I'm quarantining at the beach for everybody.
Rough life.
So yeah, it's really rough down here. But somebody's got to do it, so I'll be that guy. Yeah, this is somewhere on a beach. My first number one, first cut. Recorded by Dirk Bentley. It goes like this. Bet you think I'm sitting at home? Nah. Bet you thinking I'm all alone? Nah. Bet you think I'm missing you, wishing you would call my phone? Hell no. I went wheels up on a runway, and that ticket was a one-way. Somewhere on a beach, sipping something strong. Got a new girl, she got it going on. We drink all day, party all night. Way too gonna have you on my mind. She got a body, and she is naughty. She got me like you ain't ever got me. I'm getting some, and I ain't slept in a week. Yeah, I'm somewhere on the beach. Heard you call my boys, heard you call my folks. They say you drove by my house real slow. You can check any spot, roll down any road, but girl, I ain't even close. Somewhere on a beach, sipping something strong. Got a new girl, she got it going on. We drink all day, party all night. Way too gonna have you on my mind. She got a body, she is naughty. She got me like you ain't ever got me. I'm getting some, and I ain't slept in a week. Yeah, I'm somewhere on the beach. Yeah, I wish it could have worked out, but I'm getting over you now. On a beach towel, my shades on and my drinks up and the sun's out. I'm somewhere on a beach, sipping something strong. Got a new girl, she got it going on. We drink all day and party all night. I'm way too gonna have you on my mind. You know she got a body, and she is naughty. She got me like you ain't ever got me. I'm getting some, and I ain't slept in a week. Yeah, I'm somewhere on the beach. Beach. Somewhere on the Beach. This is where it originated.
Dude, such a jam. That was one of my favorite songs on the radio that whole year. I love that song.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Can you, while you're at the beach real quick, did I hear somewhere that you guys came up with the idea on a beach?
Yeah, like at the actual complex I'm at, building over. Actually, we came up with the idea at a place called the Whale's Tail, down here in Miramar Beach, like Destin area. And it started, the idea came from there. And then we tried to write it. Actually, we're like in a townhome thing. And so, which I rent my condo out. If anyone wants to rent a condo, hit me up. But it started in the building next to us in same complex, like I said. We couldn't figure out like how to do it. Like we knew it was a great idea. We tried to write it and it was a turd. And when we tried to write it, we were like, this is too good of an idea to waste. Let's just not force it. And so we didn't write it that trip. And we wrote some other great songs that Michael Tyler ended up recording when he was on Reviver. And we came back to Nashville and ended up writing it with Alex Palmer. Him and Dave Kinsey did a track together, played it for us. And Michael Tyler looked at all of us and he was like, boys, that's Somewhere on a Beach. And it fell out probably within like an hour.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how the artist thing kind of came about? Did you always know that you wanted to be an artist?
Yeah, so the artist thing all kind of came about. Like I always wanted to be an artist, like ever since I was like 5 and listened to NSYNC probably. Like I always wanted to do it. And so I didn't like at that time, like I thought like the artist thing was super cool and I always wanted to do it. And went to Belmont and realized that I wasn't the best at Belmont. I was decent in my hometown. And so when I was in high school, I was like, this is going to happen. Like, I'm going to do it. Like, I went to high school with Taylor Swift. Like, she did it. And I was like, I'm next in line. Like, for sure, this is easy. And I didn't know, like, the whole songwriting thing. Like, I was like, well, I want to be an artist. And then people were starting to write songs. And then they were getting record deals that way. And I was like, okay. So I started writing songs. And I don't know. Like, the artist thing has always been a goal. It hasn't been a realistic goal to the extent that it is now, and it's about to be until like I started writing songs and finding my sound for like what it actually is through writing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs. So yeah, the artist thing, I've always wanted to do it, like ever since I could like talk.
Yeah.
Always wanted to do it. And I'm 29 and I finally am signing a record deal, which is crazy. It's taken so long. So I'm excited.
Things don't always happen on our schedule, but that's okay. So what's next then? Are you going to be hitting the road?
We'll see. Yeah.
I guess.
2021 for sure. 2020 is it's TBD. Yeah. But yeah, so what's next for me is getting in the studio and recording the best project that I possibly can. And just going out and crushing it and trying to figure out what this new life is like for artists and country music fans and fans of music and concert goers. And I'm going to do my best to adapt and make sure that my fans and potential new fans get the best experience they can, whether that's virtual, in person, radio, streaming, whatever it is. I'm happy to do what I do, and I'm just going to try to do the best I can at it.
I love it. Well, do you want to play us a Josh Mirenda song?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Not that the other one wasn't, but you know what I mean.
No, absolutely. Let's see. Let's do. We'll do I Got You. So this is, I don't want to drop any new stuff just yet. But it's coming soon, I promise you. So this is I Got You. This was the single off of like my debut EP that we released on all platforms, and it absolutely exploded on Spotify. This is the one that we got like 20-something million streams just on this song alone. And yes, it was this changed the game for me as an artist. This got me on the road with Chris Young and Morgan Wallen and Dylan Scott and a bunch of other people. So this is a Josh Mirenda song that I actually wrote with Jordan Reynolds and Jaron Boyer and a lot of my buddies, and yeah, it's called I Got You. It goes like this. Got me out on the edge now, thinking about getting the hell out right about right now. Leaving this party, gotta get to you. We can do what you wanna do, what you wanna do, yeah. If you wanna go for something more too, if you wanna chill, something to drink to, you're looking for some wild to get into, then I got you, I got you. If you need a hand, hold on to it. If you need a man, then come on to it. If you need a bed to fall into, then I got you, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you. Got me all up in my head now, like I'm running out of time. Got the hammer down, I'm about 5 out. So meet me at the front door. If you wanna go for something to go to, if you wanna chill, something to drink to, you're looking for some wild to get into, then I got you, I got you. If you need a hand, to hold on to it. If you need a man, then come on to. If you need a bed to fall into, then I got you, baby, I got you, yeah. Baby, I got you. Gotta get to you. We can do what you wanna do, whatever you wanna do. If you wanna do something more too, if you wanna chill, something to drink to, you're looking for some wild to get into, then I got you. If you need a hand, hold on to it. If you need a man, come on to. If you need a bed to fall into, then I got you, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you, yeah. Baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Yeah, what a jam! Y'all go make sure that you give him 1 million more plays on Spotify, okay? Hey, do you have just any parting wisdom? Most of our followers are aspiring songwriters and artists. Is there anything you would leave them with? Maybe it's taken more than 6 months and that's okay. What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. My 6 months thing was like a crazy, don't ever expect that.
Yeah.
Why that was my number. It was crazy to do. But my advice is to show up every day. Just show up every day. There's so many days where I don't want to write. And I'm just like, maybe I'm tired, or I've been writing, I wrote Monday through Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday I was on the road, I did vocals, and I have to show up again on Monday morning, and I hadn't slept in days. It's like, show up. You never know. Like, you can't plan the day that you write your first cut. You can't plan the day you write a number 1 song. You don't know when it's going to happen. So the only way to get those is to show up every day. And that was advice that was given to me. That's advice that I took to heart. And I'm going to show up every day. So show up every day.
I love it. I think that's the best advice. Thank you so much for taking the time. You're delightful and talented, and I can't wait to see what 2020, 2021 has in store for you.
Thank you so much, Megan. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. And yeah, looking forward to the future.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
All right, we'll see y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Jammie's magic